An organizer and may now speak to any other organizers or panelists on the line. When you are ready to begin the presentation, press the Start Broadcast button on the Go.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Alliance's webinar series. Today's webinar, Living a Quality Life in Geneseo, is brought to you by the Illinois Self-Advocacy Alliance. My name is Christine Beck, and I am part of the Alliance. I am so excited to welcome Tyson to today's webinar, and he's going to be sharing his journey of living a quality life in Geneseo. But first, just let me remind you that all attendees are in listen-only mode. If you have a question, a comment, or a contribution, go ahead and type it in using the control panel, and I'll be able to see that, and we'll be able to read it out loud and answer it. Also, this webinar is being recorded and a link will be sent out. So if you weren't able to see the entire webinar or you think you missed a little bit of it, no worries, we've got you covered. We'll be able to send that out to you. So a little bit about the Alliance. The Alliance is a statewide team of self-advocacy groups in Illinois. We work together to make life better in our communities and to work to make services better in our state. We want groups from around the state to speak together with one loud voice because we know that we can do more when we all work together. So a lot of people ask me, where are all the member groups located? And here is a map of Illinois, and it shows where all of our Alliance member groups are located. And we currently have 27 member groups. Just this month, we welcomed 2 new groups, Dixon Delegates in Dixon, Illinois, and Peacemakers in Tinley Park. So we also have member groups in McHenry and Zion. Chicago is well represented. We have groups in Alsip, Brookfield, Chicago, Chicago Heights, Homewood, Joliet, and Tinley Park. We also have self-advocacy groups in Rock Island and Pontiac, LaSalle, Peru, Beardstown, Jacksonville, Bloomington, Decatur, Monticello, Champaign, Charleston, Alton, and Edwardsville. So as I like to say, no matter where you are not too far from an Alliance member group. So when I first started meeting with Tyson so he could tell me about his awesome story, I wondered where in the world was Geneseo. I thought that I'd been to a lot of places in Illinois and I knew a lot of the towns and cities and villages in Illinois, but I did not know where Geneseo was. So there is a red star up above LaSalle, Peru, and a little down and to the right from Rock Island. So you know where Tyson is coming live from. He's coming live from Geneseo, Illinois. And with that, let's meet our presenter. So Tyson, take it away.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tyson. Well, here's a little bit about myself. Growing up and where exactly I am now. I pretty much started doing this kind of stuff. Public speaking, I guess, as an actor. So a lot of time in theater has got me really used to speaking in front of like a whole crowd and stages and whatnot. Though this will be my first time doing a webinar of this sort. So I'm pretty excited to be with you all today. I'm also a computer freak. I spend a lot of time on the web. I'm an associate at Goodwill. I I started working there not too long ago, maybe 5 or 6 months ago. I'm a graduate at the University of Iowa's REACH program. The REACH program is it's kind of like an advocate uh, program for people with disabilities, such as myself. We'll get to that in a little bit. Um, and as I've said, I'm also a speaker. Uh, like I said, public speak and all that. I am an advocate as well, as I'm doing right now, and I've I've gone to be really friendly with the amount of people that I've been able to meet so far.
And if I can add that we are all students and we are all teachers, and I'm really excited to have this opportunity for Tyson to be a teacher and for myself and all of you to be students and to learn from him. And Tyson, just so you know, you might recognize the name of Mrs. Ganson. She says hello. She is on this webinar.
Hello, Mrs. Ganson. Nice to see you.
All right, so Tyson shared with us that he's an actor, and he is going to be sharing some of the pictures from some of the plays and musicals that he's done. So Tyson, tell us about this picture.
All right. This is Good Morning, Miss Dove. I believe this was the second play that I was involved with in the Geneseo High School fall plays, and I think it's my fourth ever play / musical that I was involved with. I was quite a few characters in this one, actually. I was Miss Dove's banker. I was a student making sure Miss Dove was feeling all right in a hospital. Yeah, there was a lot of characters that I was, and there may be some that I'm forgetting, but all in all, this type of thing was a lot of fun for me to do when I was still a student in Geneseo High School.
Awesome. Let's check out another one. What about these pictures?
This is Rhythm City. This was my last play that I did for Geneseo High School. I was actually the main antagonist for this particular play. A corrupted cop whose name I don't really remember. I don't know. It was something about playing an antagonist of something that really allowed me to be more in character and more, just out there.
So you got to expand your range a little bit.
Yes.
Awesome. Let's check out some more. Here's some more pictures from Rhythm City. Can you just describe what you were doing in both of these pictures?
Oh yeah. I believe I was I did have some minor roles in this play as well. I was part of a choir in this when this time came around, so I got some minor singing roles. Right now, I'm with my wife, I guess, and we're singing about the House bills, or it was some sort of bills that we were singing about. So those the minor parts, even though they're just for a small time, they're also pretty fun.
All right. So here's one of my favorite musicals, Bye Bye Birdie. Tell us about this.
Yes. This was more I was more in the minor roles when I was in Bye Bye Birdie, mostly singing and dancing, being one of the students that I was kind of one of those fans of Conrad Birdie. So um, singing and dancing, like I said, even if it's a minor role that I got, it was still like lots and lots of fun to be able to be a part of this.
Well, it takes everybody playing their part to make the production great.
Yes, very true.
So you mentioned about going to college and the REACH program. And so there's some pictures here. Tell us about the pictures and about the University of Iowa's REACH program.
Yep. So this is the campus of the University of Iowa, UI Reach program, more specifically in this general area. Um, the first picture that's on the bottom left of the screen, that was one of the first days that I was there, so it was still initiation day when that picture was taken with me and a Hawkeye ridden uh, birdie, or shoot, I forget the name of the mascot already. Herky, that's right. Um, so that's me and Herky, and the very middle picture, that is me in front of my uh, in front of the in front of the dormitory that I stayed with along with the other UI Reach students, and the top right is me in my room with my roommate. So how how everything worked. All of the boys at the UI Reach program, we stayed. It was a 10-story like apartment complex kind of. So all of the boys of the UI Reach program, we stayed on the ninth floor of the dormitories, and on all the girls stayed on the 10th floor. So
And we have some more pictures about this exciting time in your life. Tell us about these.
all right. So obviously the top left, that is me. That's me being excited for a it was, oh shoot, what are those things called? It was unpaid internships. Um, yeah, that was me getting excited for my internship. I interned at Access to Independence, which is yet another self-advocacy group that I got myself involved with, which was a lot of fun. I actually got to be placed there twice uh, for that whole year. So I was able to work there for that whole year, and that was a lot of fun. And the bottom right, that's me at graduation hugging my little brother. It was all very emotional, really. There was a lot of goodbyes, a lot of good lucks, that that whole sort of thing when everybody's like, we accomplished a lot at the UI Reach program. So it was a whole thing of reminiscing. It was very emotional. It was a very good time.
Awesome. So, in addition to being an actor and a student at the University of Iowa's REACH program, you're also a speaker. So, tell us about what's on this slide.
All right. This is I believe this is me at that looks like Springfield.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's me in Springfield, talking about my my path, which we'll be getting to pretty soon. These were one of the first actual speaking points that I was able to able to get myself involved with. These were one of the first public speaking sort of meetings that I got myself involved with. So I've yeah, I believe it was 3, maybe 4 years ago that I was there at Springfield, talking about my path and advocating for myself, advocating for those that did the path kind of like me. So that was a lot of fun, and it's still fun with all of the other public speaking stuff that I do today.
All right. So, in addition to the actor and the college graduate and the public speaker, it looks like you're interested in some politics. So, talk to us about these pictures.
Yeah. Speaking of Springfield, I did have a chance to go to the to Illinois' capital. I actually got to go there to meet all of the all of the senators, all of the representatives of Illinois there. I actually got this was a bit of a surprise when I got there because I wasn't expecting that. I actually got to meet Illinois' governor when I was over at the Capitol building. So I was able to meet everybody there. I got introduced by one of the representatives there. Actually, I became friends with one of the representatives because I met him I actually met him at a gas station after a meet about a program called Vision 2020. So that was not only fun, but that was a pretty huge milestone for myself, in my opinion, at least.
So it's not just going to the Capitol to meet with people. Sometimes it's meeting people at the gas station near the Capitol.
Yeah.
And as Tyson said, he actually got to meet with the governor. And so describe this picture to us.
Yep. That's me. Yep, that's me with Bruce Rauner and Neil Anderson. Neil Anderson is actually the representative that like I said, that I met at the gas station. So that's me with the both of them. That was, like I said, a lot of fun, pretty pivotal moment. I was just very, very excited at the time.
And you know what? I would say that's Representative Anderson and Governor Rauner with me. So they got to meet you. That was no doubt the highlight of their day, getting to meet with you, Tyson. So you say this word ambitions. When I met you, you use this word ambitions. So you have a question for everyone. Go ahead and share it.
Well, that question, well, as Killen said, I use the words ambitions a lot. So, but not everybody really really uses that word like the same as anybody else. Like I guess what I'm trying to say is people use the words ambitions differently from everybody's going to use the word ambitions differently. So what I'm going to ask is, what does ambitions mean to you? What does the word ambitions mean to you?
All right.
Maybe it's something like short term, small term. Maybe it's something like maybe a much bigger meaning. So that's all I want to really get to know.
Okay, so let's put it out there to everybody in our audience. So using your control panel, type in, what does ambitions, that word ambitions, what does it mean to you? Again, go ahead, type it in using your control panel, send it to us, and I'll read it out loud. Sometimes we got to make sure we're talking the same language. And so, what does ambitions mean to you? Again, what does
What is
ambitions mean to you?
to
Go
me?
ahead, type it in.
Uh, um,
And so sometimes it takes a couple seconds for people to think and then to type it in. I
right.
know we have some folks out there who are broadcasting to a larger group. Perhaps you're in a classroom, perhaps you're in a conference room. So go ahead and maybe talk amongst yourself. What does ambitions mean to you? I like that word. I like using new words. And when I first was talking with Tyson, that wasn't a word that I was really familiar with. And now I am. So it's wonderful when we learn new things. So, what
Yes.
does ambitions mean to you? So, we know we have people out there, and guess what? People are starting to chime in. All
Yes.
right. And Kimberly says to her, ambitions means something I want to do. Wow, thank you. And let's see, we have from CTF Advocacy Center in Charleston. They define ambitions as things you really want to do. Nice, nice. They also said a strong desire to do something. Our friends at, let's see, Livingston County Advocates in Action, they're in Pontiac. They defined ambitions as goals you want to accomplish. So thank you for chiming in. Are we ready for the next slide then, Tyson?
I think so. Yep. Those were all
All
very good responses. Thank you.
yeah, so this is a different picture than what we've seen before. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Right. So this this is kind of the typical this is kind of the typical setting for some people that would be uh, making a path. So so as I said, like a path a path is something that is like a group of people meeting together that to support one person. Although technically, I guess in a sense, everybody's helping out each other in this group, which actually they call a team because like everybody's involved, everybody is helping out one person or the other when it comes to these paths. So this group that you see in this picture is kind of the typical thing that you would see in a path team.
All right. And so it's the community coming together to really surround and support that person. And what I like is it looks like all different kinds of people. And there's even a small child there, so it looks like
Yep.
all ages are welcome when we start talking about a path and dreams.
Yes.
So you said it's a path. So what do you talk about during the path?
Well, when we talk about the path, not there aren't very many limitations to what you can talk about, though there's certain things that I've heard come up like multiple times in multiple paths. So you can talk about work, volunteering, contributing to your society. You're talking about your dreams, all of those sort of goals. Uh, Talk about where and how we want to live. Um, you you talk about friends, relationships. You know, how do we keep them strong? How do we build new ones? So making connections, making contacts, all that stuff. Of course, learning new skills is definitely a very important part of the path. So learning new skills. Transportation sometimes is included in talking about the path, like what sort of transportation you're wanting to have, like bus, Uber, taxi. Maybe you're driving up on your own, or maybe your area is small enough where you could just walk everywhere you go. Just whatever really is important to a person at the path. So pretty much what the path is is people helping out people that are looking to know where to know how exactly to get to their better life, to get to a good future.
All right. I see all these things really contributing to that quality life that your webinar is based on, living a quality life. So, wow, what in the world is this? Looks like a lot of words and a lot of artwork.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of words, a lot of artwork. This is actually my current path that I did. So, um, very subtle name for it as well. Tyson's Drive to the future. So there's a lot to talk about in uh, this one photo. But basically what this is less of a path, more of a map to where exactly you're wanting your future to go. Say it could be as long as 5 or 10 years, or maybe it's maybe it's like a much shorter time frame, maybe like 1, 2 months, maybe even days. Who there's a lot you could do with a path, which we'll be getting into a bit more.
All right. I'm excited to hear more about all these different parts of your drive to the future.
All right. So this part of the path, even though it's the last on the page, this is the first part of your path, your initial part, your what you would call your North Star. So basically, this is kind of like where your North Star is basically like your dream life in however much time you're wanting to make of this. So in my North Star, I'm hoping to have my own vehicle. You see that blue um, truck with a purple topper at the top left. At the top right, that's kind of like my dream house. So I'm planning on getting like just like a small home, maybe a farm, maybe a farm or two. Um, the middle um, middle left is, I believe that's me at Thanksgiving with family playing poker. We play a lot of poker at Thanksgiving, so that's why I'm raising green over there. So, yeah. So just at the bottom of that is the positive mask and negative mask of drama. So I'm hoping more to get more involved in all sorts of plays and musicals, because those were really fun and I really love to revisit those times. And right next to it, to the right, is me singing. You see the 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 clefs and the notes and me under them. And right next to that is a cat. I'm hoping once I get my own house that I'll be able to maybe get a cat. Um, the graduation cap on the bottom of the drama masks. That's me. I'm thinking of um, furthering my education whenever the time comes. Just below that is a plane. I'm hoping to travel much more. Maybe eventually, once I get the money, to travel outside of the States. And the last one at the bottom left is me at a podium, publicly speaking. So I'm hoping to get more opportunities to publicly speak to people like this.
So really, you begin with the end in mind. Is that right?
Yep.
And then you got to go back and work your way there. So let's talk about those other parts of the path. Oh, but before then, you have a question for everyone.
Yes. I'd like to know from everybody, what would your North Star be? What are your hopes and dreams for your upcoming future? There is no limitation to this thought, honestly. So it could be as big as you want it to be. It could be something a little more on the small term. It can be anything that you're wanting to see in your future.
All right, so go ahead and use your control panel and type in what's your North Star, your hopes and dreams for the future. And like Tyson said, it could be big, it could be little. Maybe you've shared this before. Maybe you're sharing for the 50th time or the 100th time, and that's exciting. And maybe you're sharing this for the first time. This might be the first time you're speaking up and speaking out about it. But if you want to share, we want to hear about it. So go ahead and use your control panel and type in, what is your North Star? What are your hopes and dreams for the future? And so let's see who is going to be the first to respond. I can't wait to hear. I really enjoy hearing about your hopes and dreams. Indeed, I do. So we're still trying to encourage people to type them in, and guess what? As soon as I said that, I know people start typing in, and this is from Mrs. Ganson, and this is what she said. We just started today working on modified paths in our junior English class. The student I used to model a path indicated his North Star as a degree in motorcycle mechanics, living in a house, being married with one child, and living in the South, and lots of money in the bank savings account. Awesome.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Thank you for sharing that. And you know what? I believe in those dreams. I believe in those dreams. So who else would like to share? What are your North Star hopes and dreams for the future? What are your North Star, hopes and dreams for the future. We'll leave it open for a couple more seconds because I don't know about you, but I'm excited to hear more about this path that
As am
Tyson's
I.
going to share with us. So let's see, is anybody else going to chime in? Oh yes, here we go. All right, so other students in Mrs. Ganson's class have said other students want to be married with 2 children and money to live nicely. So thank you for sharing that. Someone named Mrs. Shedden says, hi, Tyson. Students in LS1 and CrossCat at GHS are enjoying your story. Thank you for sharing.
And thank you for being on here. It's great to have you.
And there's another person, David Weatherow, inspired by Tyson. My dream for the future is to keep making these possibilities, path and circle building, available to people and families all over the world. Awesome. Let's see, Judy, who is a self-advocate at CTF Advocacy Center in Charleston, says her North Star is for everyone to get along and have world peace. Thank you, Judy, for that. And again, from Mrs. Ganson's class, someone's North Star is to live in Ireland, where that person is from. Another person's North Star is running heavy equipment as a career. And yet another is working for Ron's tree service. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And let's
All of those are very fascinating.
Yeah. And from Livingston County Advocates in Action in Pontiac, our hopes and dreams would be to play snare drum in a band, to spend more time with my nephew, to go on a train ride, to have a cat as a pet, to fly in a plane, drive a race car, become a cook, to be a movie star, to be a beautician, live on a farm, and live in my own home. And I am going to bet several self-advocates are sharing their North Stars from Livingston County Advocates in Action. And our last one is from Mrs. Ganson's class. This student's North Star is to have a degree in art sculpture from a college. So thank you all for sharing. Oh, hold on, I have a couple more. We also have, I know, you just start asking people about their North Stars, and this is exciting. Mrs. Ganson's class, the student said working with NASA. And from Mrs. Shedden's class, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Tate hopes to become a Lego designer. Ooh, my son will like that, Tate. Sarah enjoys musicals at Rhythm City. Dylan's North Star is to become an artist. Lily's North Star is to become an inventor of a time machine. And Ron's North Star is in Hollywood as a supervising animator. Man, the sky's the limit. Yeah. Let's learn more about the path. So tell us what happens in this who column.
All right. So this is the initial team that that will be recruited for this path. It could be anyone you think of, friends, family, acquaintances at your work, coworkers. It could be people in your community that you know. Anybody that you could think of in that category. So
you just list them all down, huh?
Pretty much, yep.
All right, let's find out what happens next.
All right, so this is you now. This is essentially where you are now. So right now, I am living at home. So I work at Goodwill. It used to be 20 to 30 hours a day, but now I only work 15 15 hours a week. So I'm still loving it over there. So University of Iowa, I already I got that check mark because I already graduated from there. And my friend Dylan, I get to see him once every week usually. I'm practicing my banking and keeping my finances in check with my mother. I'm doing my own laundry and I pack my own lunches for when I work at Goodwill.
All right. So that's, at least at the time of this path, that represents where you're at right now. So let's see what happens next.
All right. So these are kind of the stepping stones for where you're gonna go with your North Star. So right now like I said, I've been wanting to get my own place. So right now I'm gonna be a house / apartment hunting, seeing what sort of place I'm gonna stay at first before I make any bigger decisions. I have a budget for myself. I monitor how much I spend daily, weekly, and saving money, of course, is going to be a pretty big factor in my goals. Of course, it's gonna require a lot of money to get my own house or apartment. So, I'm gonna start practicing driving. I'm actually glad that the weather's been getting nicer, so I'm gonna start getting some opportunities to practice my driving again. And I want to continue self-advocating, public speaking, the like. And if I decide I want another job, I'm gonna start building a resume for myself.
All right. So on Tyson's journey to the North Star, his path has taken him through who, where he's at now, and getting stronger. Let's see what's next.
Enrollment. All right. These are pretty much the people that you should bring in to help you out on this stepping stone. So yeah, as you can see, I have I have quite the list of people going on for what I'm wanting to do with my North Star. So I'll just say this: it'll probably. I'm not sure if it'll be as big as this. Might be bigger, but I don't know. There might be people that you initially didn't technically think of at first when going for your enrollment step.
All right. And as another reminder, this is all happening in a big community. You know, the folks that have come together to support Tyson in thinking about the North Star. So it's not necessarily Tyson talking about all these people for enrollment, although he might have. You know, it's everybody coming together and sharing their ideas, and based on what Tyson wants to get stronger in, who do they know who might be able to help him with that?
Right.
Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct.
Awesome. All right, so we got enrollment. And here's another question for us.
Yes. Who? Well, you're 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 gonna need connections with some or most of the stuff that will be coming into either the enrollment or the initial starting phase of your team for your path. So I'm going to ask this question: who are your connections? Who do you believe when thinking about your North Star? What who could maybe help out in getting to those steps towards your North Star?
All right, so as you heard Tyson say, think about your North Star, your hopes and dreams for the future, and then think about who would those people be that you could call upon to help you maybe get all the way there. Maybe it's just the next one right step, but who are your connections? And we all need connections in life. We all have dreams, and we should be thinking about who can I call upon who can help me get to my North Star. So go ahead and use your control panel, type in who are your connections. Maybe there's one person in particular who's a great connection for you. Maybe there's another person that you think that they could be a really good connector for you. Let us know who those people are. So go ahead, type it in with your control panel, and we will read it out loud. And I just know people are thinking and people are talking, and so don't be shy. Don't be shy. Type it up, send it to us, and we would love to hear. Who are your connections? Who are your connections? And maybe that person doesn't know that they're a possible connector for you. How awesome when somebody asks you to be a connector. That can be really neat. All right, come on. Let's see who's going to chime in about connections. All right. See, all we had to do was encourage them a little. All right, from Mrs. Shedden's class. Wow, what a great list. Parents, siblings, grandparents, teachers, friends, co-workers, work supervisors, aunts and uncles, and neighbors.
Nice.
What do you think about that list? Yeah.
That is a very nice list.
All right. And here's more great things from Mrs. Danson's class. Parents, brother, school counselor, case manager, and uncle. Yeah. From Livingston County Advocates in Action, parents, family, friends, Livingston County Advocates in Action advisors, and staff. All right. Yeah. So let's go to the next slide. Don't want anybody to miss out on this great information.
All right. So once you got those people essentially enrolled, these will be the next steps that you'll be taking. Another step towards your North Star. So why these people are in these bubbles? They're gonna be those teammates that will most likely be the ones that will be assisting you in that next step. Or as you see, there's two of me that are in these next steps. So it could be even just yourself that that would be able to do this next step. So.
All right. Well, and I wanted to say, Tyson, that we did have CTF Advocacy Center in Charleston, Illinois. They said that their connectors can include friends and family and people you work with. So yeah, as you think about next steps, definitely those are some folks that you can ask to be connectors. All right. So then after next steps, what comes next?
All right. So these this organizing step is basically these steps being put into motion, and then the aftermath. So I have this for in a span of 30 days. So I'm hoping that I'll be completing my resume. I'll learn how to microwave at Goodwill, which I did. So
Awesome.
I'm able to eat lots more food over there now. I can do my own grocery shopping in those 30 days. I'll be house hunting on Zillow. I believe, if I remember correctly, that's a house hunting website. So planting kit and supplies. There was that'll be for my farm potentially. So and contacting Mr. DePau. That's actually the person that does all of that leads all of the plays and musicals that go on at Geneseo High School. So I'll be getting into contact with him.
Well, congratulations on learning the microwave. If I could just learn how to make microwave popcorn without burning it, yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
And then we get to this last bit of the path, positive and possible. Tell us about that.
Right. So positive and possible. These are things that can be. This is pretty much like 1 year for now, for me at least. So this is essentially what in this year I've been able to accomplish, or at least hopefully I'll accomplish. So I believe I'll be getting my driver's license in this upcoming year. I'll be doing more public speaking, more plays, more musicals, more choir stuff. There's a grocery bag right there, so I'm doing my my groceries on my own. There's a steaming pot right there, so I'm cooking, baking, all this stuff on the stove, and those tickets, like I said, those will be for like musicals and plays.
I see. So the previous slide was things that you were going to do maybe in the next month. And
Right.
This one is about what you want to accomplish in the next year. So you have short-term goals and long-term goals. All right, I've got it now. So here is a picture of the entire path from start to finish. So remember, you start with the North Star, so that's all the way on the right, and that's what your hopes and dreams. And then you go back to the left and start with the who, the now, the get stronger, the enrollment, next steps, organize, and then positive and possible. Now, one of the
Right.
questions I had for Tyson is, who does all this awesome artwork? And do you want to share who did the awesome artwork for you?
It was this this artwork is actually Vicky Nicewater's. So she's the one that that actually did my path.
All right. And we have a question from David Weatherow. He says, Tyson, what's on your done list? What's happened as a result of doing this path and bringing other people into the picture? It's a great question.
Well, as I've said, I've been able to use the microwave at Goodwill. The be able using pots and pans for cooking and all that. About the microwave, it was a brand new one as well. So it, like, it's not that it was somewhat difficult, but it was it just took some getting used to. I wasn't really used to all the buttons that were on there. So I've been talking about where I wanted to live with my family. I talked about apartments. I've also been talking about getting my driving permit and eventually a license, so I can have more independence in this case. Let's see. I've right now, one of my goals on this was actually sharing the path with people. So I'm actually accomplishing that right now as we're talking. Like I said, I've got my planting kit. I'm planting a bunch of edible herbs that actually very delicious when put into the recipes that I have set up. I've gotten in contact with Mr. DePau about the plays and the musicals. So right now we're sort of getting into this whole process of me getting registered so that I can help out with the Geneseo High School's plays and musicals. So if there is a chance that you see me as one of the staff for one of the musicals and plays, you'll know why now.
So you're not just going to be there cheering them on in the audience, but hopefully you will be there as part of the production and helping the students. And David Weatherow said, wonderful, that's great. All right. One of the things that I like about the path, although I've not participated in one, is that it really just provides a focus and some structure to folks when they're thinking about what they want in their life. So I think this is one of our last questions that we'll put out to everyone. So what is this?
Right. So now that we know like what the path is about, what it sort of takes to get to your North Star, my question to you will be just what will be your first step in reaching your North Star? What steps do you have in mind when thinking about reaching your North Star in upteenth amount of time?
All right. We know that the journey begins with the first step. And so Tyson wants to know, what's your first step to reaching your North Star? And it really can be anybody that is participating in the webinar today, because again, we all have hopes and dreams and North Stars. And here we go. So Mrs. Ganson's class, the first steps are looking for apartments near the motorcycle mechanics school, decluttering my stuff and preparing to pack, and learning about securing a student loan. We also
Nice.
have get a job to earn money to save for school. Yes, yes. Anyone else want to share about your first step to reaching your North Star? What's your first step? And while people may be thinking about it and preparing to type it in using the control panel, well, I was going to say we're going to go to the next slide because I know we are almost at the end of time, but we have Mrs. Ganson's class said, talk to Dad about working full-time someday for his business. Nice.
Nice.
Livingston County Advocates in Action said, saving money and researching are the first steps to reaching the North Star. So, Tyson, how can you encourage people?
Well, the encouragement is basically, you can do it. Be honest with yourself, because the only limitation you have is you, because you can do so many awesome things. You can do anything your mind puts yourself to. You don't need anyone to say if you can or cannot do something. You can go as far as you want to go. So open your mind to as many possibilities, every possibility that you can. See what ambitions you have, what you want for your future and everybody's future around you may be. Don't be afraid to explore those ambitions either. Don't be afraid to go that extra mile. All in all, you really just gotta believe in yourself,
Yes. And we had some other folks talk about their first steps to achieving their North Star. This is from Mrs. Shedden's class, practicing art, taking a drawing and painting class, working on budgeting skills, read, talk with others, work on job skills, and coloring.
Very nice list.
Yes, yes. All right. And then we have come to the end of this wonderful journey. And now it's time for questions, comments, and considerations. So if you have any questions for Tyson, comments, or considerations, please type them in using your control panel. I'll read them out loud. Tyson can answer them. So we're going to see what folks have to say. So you know what? We'll start out with you, Tyson. Do you have any comments about this webinar and about doing a webinar? I know you said this is achieving one of your goals, and it's the first time you did a webinar.
Yes. This has been very fun. I'm really glad that I was able to join everybody here today and to join you, Christine, to talk further about the path. And I'm glad that I was able to educate and teach more people about this path. So if anyone is interested in having their own path done, just let me go. Just let me know. Get in touch with me if you want to know more about how to get a path done.
All right. And so, in terms of questions, comments, and considerations from Mrs. Ganson, I'm always amazed by Tyson's progress and new skill sets. He's an inspiration for my students. Wonderful. And from Judy, she's a self-advocate at CTF Advocacy Center. Judy says, you did a great job on your path board.
Thank you very much.
And from Livingston County Advocates in Action in Pontiac, you did a great job on the presentation. Have you ever had someone tell you that you couldn't accomplish your ambitions?
I wouldn't say that, no. Well, nobody told me that I couldn't do this stuff. Nobody told me that I could do this either. I just kind of went with the flow, you know. I just went out there. I just spoke. I don't know. It was very liberating. It's always very liberating getting just able to talk about this sort of stuff, either in front of an audience, in like a stage, small conference room, maybe a classroom, even, and as I'm learning right now, even on a webinar.
And from Mrs. Ganson, my students say it's super interesting. It shows what someone with autism can do. And Mrs. Ganson also said, we've got to run, Tyson. Great job and see you soon, hopefully in the halls at GHS as a theater program volunteer.
Of course, I hope to see you all soon as well.
And from Mrs. Shedden, thank you so much, Tyson. You gave a fantastic presentation today. We look forward to creating individual paths in class after spring break.
Of course, and thank you for being on here. I hope everything goes very well.
And the last is from Mrs. Larson. Tyson has inspired me to teach my students more self-advocacy skills. Other students want to have a path.
That sounds very nice. I really look forward to seeing everybody progress, you know?
Yeah.
It's very, very, very good.
And if you want to learn more about PATH, you can contact Vicki Neiswander. She is the executive director of the Illinois Association of Microboards and Cooperatives, IAMC. Her email address, plus her direct phone contact, and her website is available on the screen. So I hope everybody had a great time learning today. Tyson, thank you so much for being our teacher and sharing about PATH and about quality lives in Geneseo.
Thank you, Christine. It's been a pleasure.
Right. I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you again for joining us for the Alliance's webinar series. Bye-bye.